Hello, Los Angeles Dodgers fans. We've got fresh exclusive videos and the latest updates just for you. Before we dive in, make sure to join our channel and hit that like button. This is the best way to stay on top of all the breaking news. In a development that's stirring up the MLB rumor mill like wildfire, Tyler Glasnow may have just dropped one of the most controversial and eyebrow-raising statements of the season. The Los Angeles Dodgers right-hander, who's known more for his electric fastball and devastating curve than off-field drama, has reportedly suggested that there's a player inside the Dodgers' own locker room who is contaminating the team's chemistry. That's the word he supposedly used, contaminating. Not struggling, not slumping, not distracted, contaminating. And when a player of Glasnow's stature uses a word that heavy, you better believe people are listening. The whispers started during a closed-door post-game presser, one that was supposedly intended to stay in-house. But you know how things go in this sport, especially with a franchise as magnified as the Dodgers. Someone heard it, someone talked, and now this thing is snowballing fast. Is this Glasnow simply venting out of frustration from recent team struggles? Or are we witnessing the first public crack in a locker room filled with superstars, expectations, and pressure? Either way, this isn't just any pitcher speaking out. This is a guy brought in to win, now suggesting that something or someone is rotting the core from within. Now, let's pump the brakes before we rush to conclusions, because we don't have Glasnow on camera making this statement. Not yet, anyway. What we do have are sources close to the Dodgers clubhouse who claim that Glasnow has grown increasingly vocal in recent weeks about a player who, in his words, is not in it for the team. That's the other quote making the rounds. And reportedly, this isn't just about on-field performance. It's about attitude, presence, and energy. This so-called contamination is less about mechanics and more about mentality. Glasnow, who's battled through injuries, pressure, and postseason heartbreaks in Tampa Bay, was expected to bring leadership and stability to a stacked Dodgers rotation. So if he's concerned about the atmosphere inside that room, there's a real possibility that something or someone is rubbing the players the wrong way. We're not talking about clubhouse banter or minor friction. We're talking about a veteran starter supposedly feeling that the culture is being damaged by one guy. That kind of talk doesn't come lightly. If this is true, then it could signal a much bigger problem brewing under the surface of a team built to contend. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Multiple insiders believe Glasnow wasn't talking in vague terms or generalities. He reportedly knows exactly who he's referring to. While he hasn't named the player publicly, and we're not in the business of guessing, we can start looking at body language, recent slumps, and subtle clues during games and interviews. Who's been disconnected? Who's isolated? Who isn't? Celebrating with the team after big wins? That's where fans are now turning their attention. This isn't just about one guy being off. It's about how that negativity is spreading. Think of it like a virus in the clubhouse. One bad vibe turns into silence on the bench. One selfish play sparks side eyes in the dugout. And soon enough, a team that should be clicking on all cylinders finds itself second-guessing each other. Glasnow reportedly warned team staff that it's gonna get worse if nobody addresses it. That's not a warning you ignore. Especially coming from a guy who just got here and already sees the warning signs. To make matters worse or more intriguing depending on your perspective, Glasnow is said to have had at least one tense conversation with this unnamed player. According to those close to the situation, it wasn't a shouting match, but it wasn't exactly a friendly chat either. It was more like a reality check, possibly even a wake-up call. And here's the kicker. After that exchange, Glasnow apparently went silent for days. No interviews, minimal interaction, and an unusually stoic presence during team activities. Teammates noticed, and some reportedly started asking questions. What was said? Why the tension? And why did things suddenly feel different? If you've followed baseball long enough, you know that teams, especially those built for a championship run, are fragile ecosystems. One fracture in the wrong spot and the whole thing can implode. And when the guy waving the red flag is one of your ace pitchers, people start scrambling for answers. Is this drama overblown? Possibly. But if there's truth behind it, then we might be witnessing the first crack in the Dodgers' 2025 armor. Fans, and analysts are already speculating wildly on social media. Some think it's a veteran whose ego is clashing with management. Others believe it could be a young player not buying into the team-first mentality. There's even chatter about off-field distractions, relationships, business deals, or personal issues bleeding into the dugout. The thing is, none of this is confirmed. That's what makes it so juicy and dangerous. It's a rumor with just enough smoke to suggest a fire, and Tyler Glasnow, knowingly or not, may have just become the whistleblower. That role comes with a price. If the team rallies and fixes the issue, he's a hero. If it divides the locker room further, he's the guy who couldn't keep things internal. And for a Dodgers organization that prides itself on professionalism, that's a tightrope walk with no safety net. The question now becomes, how does the front office respond? Do they step in quietly? Do they wait and hope it resolves itself? Or does this become a full-blown clubhouse reckoning? Dig a little deeper, and this situation speaks to something much bigger in sports: the illusion of harmony. On the surface, the Dodgers look like a dream team. Talent at every position, a Hall of Fame manager, and a loyal fan base that expects nothing less than a World Series title. But what if that's just a facade? What if behind the curtain, the very foundation is being tested by internal conflict? Glasnow's alleged remarks shine a light on that possibility. And let's not forget, this is a franchise that has dealt with its share of locker room personalities over the years. From Yasiel Puig to Trevor Bauer, LA is no stranger to managing egos. But what makes this different is the secrecy. There's no name, no public drama, just whispers and one cryptic word: contamination. That's what makes this story so compelling. It's not just about baseball. It's about culture, leadership, and the fine line between winning and unraveling. And if Glasnow is right, the Dodgers may be skating on thin ice. But before we move forward, don't forget to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest news about the Los Angeles Dodgers. We love to hear your thoughts on the news, so drop a comment below. There's also a financial angle to consider. The Dodgers have one of the highest payrolls in the league, with players locked into massive deals. That kind of investment comes with expectations, not just of performance, but of cohesion. They front offices don't shell out hundreds of millions for dysfunction. If Glasnow's comments reach the ears of upper management, and let's be real, they already have, then we could see swift action behind the scenes. Quiet conversations, trade rumors, roster moves disguised as strategy. That's how teams deal with internal rot. Not always publicly, but surgically. Cut out the infection before it spreads. And if Glasnow's words were a warning flare, someone up top is now on alert. This isn't just one guy griping. This is a top-tier pitcher possibly pointing out a culture risk. If that's not taken seriously, the Dodgers could find themselves unraveling faster than anyone expects. Meanwhile, the media is circling like sharks. Everyone wants to scoop the name, the details, but the Dodgers are staying tight-lipped for now. The team's press releases remain upbeat. Players give polished answers. No one breaks the code. That's how it always starts. But cracks always widen, leaks always happen, and if Glasnow's concerns keep festering without resolution, someone's going to talk. Someone always does. And when that happens, the story explodes. What started as a whisper turns into a headline. And once the media storm hits, there's no turning back. Players take sides. Fans speculate. Chemistry erodes. That's the danger here. And it all hinges on whether Glasnow was right and whether the Dodgers are willing to confront whatever truth he tried to surface. Because if they don't, this could be the story that derails a championship season. But here's a curveball. What if Glasnow is the problem? What if his presence, his attitude, or his leadership style is clashing with an already established core? That's a possibility we can't ignore. Just because someone sounds the alarm doesn't mean they're not part of the noise. Maybe Glasnow's frustrations are valid, but his delivery? Maybe that's what's actually causing the ripples. A new player, no matter how talented, has to earn trust, has to blend in, has to learn the rhythm of the room. And if Glasnow came in with fire, demanding accountability, calling out guys directly, that can backfire, especially on a veteran team with its own dynamics. It's possible that the tension isn't from a contaminating teammate, but from Glasnow's clash with the culture. Maybe it's just growing pains, or maybe it's something deeper. Whatever the case, there's no denying it. Where there's smoke, there's heat, and the Dodgers are starting to sweat. If there's one takeaway from this entire situation, it's that winning covers everything until it doesn't. The Dodgers, for all their regular season dominance, are chasing postseason glory. That's the prize. And any distraction, any division, any break in trust can be the difference between a parade and a heartbreak. Glasnow's rumored comments are more than just locker room gossip. They're a challenge, a test of leadership, a spotlight on what happens when internal tension bubbles too close to the surface. How the Dodgers respond, publicly or privately, will define their season, maybe even their legacy. Because this isn't just about one guy. It's about a team, a culture, and the fine edge between greatness and collapse. And as long as that word, contamination, hangs in the air, every loss, every slump, every strange dugout moment will be viewed through that lens. Tyler Glasnow lit the match. Now we wait to see what burns. That's all for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay up to date with exclusive news about the Los Angeles Dodgers, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We always appreciate your comments and feedback. See you in the next video.